Mankind's history is like one big jigsaw puzzle. A puzzle whose pieces have been spilling down the back of the sofa and through the floorboards. But every day we're rediscovering these pieces, and each one helps us further understand some of history's most intriguing ancient civilizations, such as the strange predictive powers of the Mayan, the incredible intelligence of the Sumerians, and how the Easter Island folk got those fat-ass statues up on a hill, the Sea Peoples. The ancient kingdoms of Egypt, Greece, and the Mycenaeans were some of the most influential civilizations in human history, with many of their teachings and discoveries forming the basis of our modern scientific, religious, and philosophical ideas. But between 1200 and 1000 AD, these and many other Mediterranean nations suffered a brutal dark age which caused their civilizations to collapse. And while many factors are considered to have contributed to the situation, one of the most fascinating is the constant attacks and disruption wrought upon coastal cities by the mass movement of the Sea Peoples. We have no idea where the Sea Peoples came from, what their motives were, nor what happened to them, with various theories claiming they were former soldiers who turned to piracy, refugees from natural disasters, or they were part of a gigantic migratory group from a previously undocumented nation. There are many purported references to this group, found in a number of historical documents, but the most promising could be the infamous Linear A and B tablets of Pilas. The language on Linear B tablets has been mostly deciphered, and does mention this strange increase in slave raiding and migration. Yet, Linear A remains a mystery. But if we could decipher it, perhaps we'd find out who the Sea Peoples really were, and why they were so mean. Easter Island intrigue. In the centuries since the West first gazed upon Easter Island's Moai statues, archaeologists have been confused over how the relatively primitive Rapa Nui people moved these big hunks of rock. We know that they're meant to be depictions of long-dead tribal leaders, but how did they shift them into place? Did they grease them up real good like the Egyptians? Was another more advanced South American tribe in on the action? Or is there a more paranormal explanation at play? For years we had no idea, because these giant monolithic figures with giant heads and chunky tummies weigh about 12 tons each. And since they were made between 1250 and 1500 AD, surely there has to be an extraordinary explanation we're missing here? Or not, because in 2012 we realized those round bellies weren't just an ancient form of fat-shaming their dead relatives. They had a purpose, which was to help the Rapa Nui rock the statues back and forth until they were pulled into place by strong men with rope. So I hope you'll remember this the next time you hear someone say, "Something happened to me last night. It must have been aliens." Because now we know, when someone blames ET, it's often just some really strong guys with lubricant and rope. The Mayan Apocalypse Calendar. The 7 Mayan prophecies foretold by the Mayan people claimed that a series of devastating events would occur to humanity beginning in 1999 and ending with Earth's destruction on December 21st, 2012. They spoke of a time without time, a change in the behavior of humanity, and the destruction of all things unless man learned to alter his ways. Now, obviously, this didn't happen, so what were the Mayans getting at? Well, December 21st actually represented the end of a Mayan Baktun, which is a time period in the Mesoamerican calendar. And if we'd done our homework, we'd have known that they were pretty dramatic when it came to describing things, as they referred to December 21st as the ending of a world age. We know this because in May 2012, just a few months before supposed global annihilation, archaeologists discovered a series of Maya astronomical tables which plotted the movement of the moon and the Earth way past 2012, with some Mayan calendars even predicting events and commemorations taking place in the year 4772. Furthermore, all of these predictions of death and destruction weren't meant as unavoidable events, more so consequences which man would face if we didn't start respecting ourselves, each other, and the world around us. So the Mayans weren't predicting for the apocalypse, and nor could they predict the future. They were just organizing their diary for the next few millennia and giving out self-help tips. Stonehenge. Here's another mysterious bunch of old-timey rocks for you, and we still don't know exactly how the Stone Age people of southern Britain built this astonishing rock formation either. Stonehenge predates the Easter Island statues by at least 3 millennia, possibly 4. So if the Rapa Nui struggled to get those stones up, how the heck did prehistoric Englishmen, Were they drunk? The English are strong when they're drunk, which is always. So we must, and should always, fear them. Today we're still confused as to exactly how Stonehenge was constructed. But for a long time we also didn't know what it was for and why it was built in the middle of nowhere. So archaeologists went digging around. And then we discovered two things. First of all, that there's a buttload of bones in the ground, so it's almost certainly a ritual burial site. And second, that it's not in the middle of nowhere. It's actually spitting distance away from the largest Stone Age settlement ever found in Britain, which is something we only found out recently. So now, Stonehenge is about as mysterious as seeing Big Ben stuck in the middle of London. And in about 20 years' time, when all the other clocks with hands have gone extinct, the children of millennials will gawp up at the Elizabeth Tower and wonder what the heck we used that strange giant monument for.